Hello, traders, and welcome back to another Conquer FX YouTube video. Today, we are going to be doing something a little bit different, and I'm going to be walking you through the step-by-step approach on how to create a daily report card that can ultimately accelerate your own performance coming into 2024. So, for example, this is the one tool that I personally think everyone can use no matter what level you're at to increase your performance dramatically in the new year. It's a different style of video. It's more of like a presentation here and just going through this Word document, making sure that we include all the details. But as you see, I'm going to give you like a step-by-step approach of what to include and questions you should ask yourself, etc., etc. Okay, so this is basically how you can use a daily report card so you can improve dramatically over the next 6 months. Okay, so first of all, what is a daily report card? Okay, it is essentially a self-review that takes place after a trading day is complete, to review the actions of the trader and understand he or she's thought process that led to the trade idea to gain further knowledge over the next few weeks. In other words, if we can't measure it, we can't improve it. Okay, so what this all means is it's basically a report card that you're going to fill out with a series of questions that allows you to understand your own thought processes that led to you taking that trade. And as we map that out and as we ask these different types of questions that force us to look into areas of our trading that might make us feel uncomfortable, that is ultimately going to bring us answers that we can then work on and actually hold you accountable all at the same time. A daily report card, like I said, it will keep you disciplined and stop you making stupid and poor decisions. Because this is the thing, when you know you have a daily report card to write at the very end of the day, you're less likely to make these poor decisions because you're now going to be aware of, hey, I will be reviewing my work. I'm going to have to possibly go through that painful experience of, writing out why I was being a dumbass, why I took trades outside of my plan, why I let these impulsive decisions take place, etc., etc., etc. It will also make you more aware of your own actions. So it's like in psychology, for example, when we look at trading psychology, people always say, map out your emotions, become more aware of your own actions and emotions that you're feeling. But that doesn't necessarily help you. So, majority of people say it because it sounds smart. But once you've written down everything, what do you do with that information? A lot of the time we can use the information to spot weaknesses, etc., etc. And then we can bring our focus to them in order to strengthen them and then ultimately bring up our own performance. So by conducting a daily report card, it's going to make you more aware of your own actions on a day-to-day basis. Because sometimes we're doing things without even realizing it repeatedly over and over again that is costing our business. Next, it is a defensive play against overtrading. I kind of said this at the very start, but if you know you're going to have to review each trade, you're less likely to take, 4, 5, 10 setups on a particular day because you're going to be spending a lot more time reviewing all of them. So it's kind of a defensive play against your own laziness to record multiple trades. It also helps us to improve and optimize areas of our plan that was not at the front of our consciousness. And I kind of mentioned that as well. Sometimes we're not aware, consciously aware of, different actions we're taking on a day-to-day basis. But by actually, becoming more aware, writing it down and asking these direct questions that I'm going to share with you here in a moment, it's going to help you a lot. Now, why should you even listen to me? Well, we have helped traders just like yourself reach millions in funding. Essentially, the C7 mentorship has the funding blueprint where we help, everyday traders, everyday struggling traders, beginner traders to scale to 6 to 7 figures in prop firm capital. We promise to work with them until they reach there. And even when they reach there, we help them keep their funding, get consistent payouts and scale from there, all the way to even outside of the prop firm capital space. So if you are interested in that, you can check the links in the description below. But what questions should we ask? Okay, so here's kind of the layout of the daily report card. So the first part of the daily report card that I like to ask myself is, what did you learn today? You have to understand that when traders do not journal their trades, they are leaving valuable data on the table to improve for their next trade. So if you've taken a loss or if you've taken a winning trade and you just close down your system, your computer, and never look at that again, you're leaving valuable data that led to that decision making. So in other words, if you had a winning trade, you are leaving valuable data possibly there that would help you to find another winner in the future. Or if it was a losing trade, you are leaving valuable data there by not reviewing the trade to understand, why was this a loser? How can I prevent this from happening again? And when we do this at a compounded rate over and over and over and over again, our plan becomes clearer and clearer and clearer, and that means our performance is going to become better and better and better. By asking questions as simple as what did we learn today, we can bring our awareness to areas that may not have been at the front of our consciousness, essentially, once again. Okay. So like I said, it kind of up here, when we were first talking about, how does the daily report card help you? You become a lot more conscious of like, what did I actually learn today? And then when you collect these stats in a daily report card, you can come back and look at all of the different reports where you said, what did you learn today? And you can look at all of the lessons that you've had over the last few months, and then become more consciously aware of these repeating patterns. Because once again, sometimes things happen in the market and we forget about it, or it takes us 10 or 12 times to go through the same losing period to really grab hold of what is happening. But by having a daily report card, by reviewing and optimizing, this is going to prevent that from happening, and you're going to see these mistakes a lot quicker, and you're going to learn a lot faster. And you can break these questions down, all of these questions down, into the 7 pillars. Like, what did you learn today? So what did you learn about your entry? What did you learn about your exit, your risk management? Should you have sized up more here? Your trade management. Did you exit the trade too early? Why? Your price positioning. Where was price located when you got in? Was it at the lower high of the day? Was it in the middle of the Asian range? Whatever it may be. What time are all of these trades being taken at? Etc. etc. And you can do this for all of these questions. The next is, what did you need to improve on today? Example for, what do I need to improve on? What is the solution to improve? Could you have betted bigger? How can you do this strategically? Okay, so you can see this here. This is just a step by step. So you can almost screenshot this here and take that and just ask yourself these questions on a day-to-day basis. But once again, we can use these 7 pillars. What do I need to improve on in my entry? Like, am I entering too late, too early? Is my exit really poor? Am I exiting based off emotion and not statistical facts? Am I, for example, is the timing off? Like, should I be getting in at a, New York market open instead of getting in these dead hours in between? And what is the solution to improve? Okay, well, if I am getting in at the wrong time, what is the solution? When should I be coming to the desk? Should I come to the desk an hour later, an hour earlier? Should I, be placing my limit orders earlier for the entries? Is there a possibility to create a clearer entry? Whatever it may be. But by continuously asking these questions, we're continuously improving. And could you have betted bigger? This is something that no one ever asks. You're in a game where the job is to make money from your making great decisions, but no one ever thinks about, when you make a great decision, how can I maximize the reward? They're always looking for the sniper entry, and they're always looking for a higher risk reward. When the reality is, it's much easier to take an already winning system, look at the winning trades, and say, how do I maximize the gains on these winning trades? And by asking, could you have betted bigger, and how do you do this strategically with very little risk, this is going to put you in the right frame of thinking. Next question. What was the golden setup of the day? This is one that people overlook, but it is hugely, hugely important. It's important to ask this because it helps us to build a collection of high probability trading setups. So at the end of each quarter, you can review the best golden setups over the last 3 months and adjust your plan accordingly, or build new playbooks around this. So when you look at each week or each day, what was the best setup, at the very end of the year, you could have 100 different setups all collected in this one report card, or in this one gallery or document or whatever, and you can see, okay, this is what all the best setups of every single day I've traded look like. I missed some, I was able to take trades on others, I didn't even notice some of them, whatever it may be. But now you've all this data where you can actually, at the end of the year, at the end of the quarter, at the end of the month, start developing systems around these different playbooks. And it's a very smart and passive approach to finding great playbook setups. If you missed a trade, why? Like, that's another thing. People, will backtest over and over again. And what happens is when they're backtesting, they see these amazing results. And what happens then? They actually start trading live, and their results are not matching. Their live results are not matching their backtested results. Now, why does this happen? A lot of the time, they're not executing the plan the same way. Sometimes, they're not at the desk at the time they backtested before, and now their results aren't being reflected in the same way. Maybe they're lacking focus in live time. The plan might not suit their routine. In other words, they're not at the desk, like I said. Maybe they're now hesitating before they execute. So in other words, there might be actually a more bigger issue here, a clarity problem around the strategy itself. And you can include screenshots. And then I always think it's great to give a rating of 1 to 10. So, if you had a really great day, it could be like an 8, 9 out of 10, 7 out of 10. I'd never mark myself 10 out of 10 because there's always room for improvement. But if you really didn't follow your plan, etc., you might give yourself a 2, a 1, a 3, whatever it is. And then always include a solution to improve. There's no point in just being aware of what you need to improve on. You also need to know how to improve moving forward. And the only way to do this is to pick a logical solution and continue to work on proving that area of your trading with that logical solution until the problem is solved. When you have solved that, you can then move on to focus on the next problem that you need to solve. But there is no point in chopping and changing from a day-to-day basis, because we need to build those consistent habits over time to make sure that you're not suffering from whatever the issue is at that particular time. So once again, I'll say that you should screenshot this here, ask yourself these questions, maybe even start a daily report card on Notion or something like that, which can be extremely helpful. And if you did enjoy this video, please comment down below, because I know this is a different style of video. Let me know what you think. If you like this sort of style, is it detailed enough, etc., because these are actually quite fun to make. It's a lot more detail, a lot more theory. That's the stuff I like to make, actual value. I don't like this flashy nonsense on YouTube. So yeah, please comment, please like, subscribe to the channel, will be a huge help. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.